other instruments, because treasury bill is issued, hence they are issued by the government. The government doesn't have any default risk. Before that, something that you have to know is a money market instruments are always a debt instruments. There is no equity instruments in the money market. However, the capital market includes a debt market and an equity market. Why is that? Because equity doesn't have a maturity period less than 1 year, because as long as the company operates, this equity instrument will not be returned to the issuer. So as long as this instrument is not returned to the issuer, we cannot say that the maturity period has been reached. So the money market is a place that supports the exchange of a short-term securities. It doesn't include any equity instruments in it. So these treasury bills doesn't pay any interest. However, their interest is an implicit interest rate. What is implicit interest rate? Guys, if you want to know how a debit market or a debit instruments work, check this link. I have a video on that. You can clearly know how bonds and other debit instruments work. So I do not explain how a debit instrument works, but what is implicit interest rate and explicit interest rate? An implicit interest rate is where the interest is not separately stated. For example, if I say I will sell for you $100 bond, I will sell you $100 bond with $100 bond with $90 only. So today you buy with $90. So on year 1 I will not give you any interest. Also in year 2 I will not give you any interest. However, on let's assume the bond mature within 2 years. So after these 2 years I will give you $100. That means you bought with $90, but finally you received $100 at the end. The interest here is 100 minus 90, that is $10. This $10 is not explicitly stated in terms of percentage. However, you bought at a discount and got the face value at the end. This is what we call it the implicit interest rate. However, if I sell $100 bond for you, that means I receive that $100 today and will give you the bond. So after a year I will give you, if the interest rate is still the maturity period is 2 years and the interest rate is, let me assume it's 10%. So 10% of 100 is 10. So at year 1 I will give you $10 as an interest payment. Finally, when the bond matures on the year 2, I will return the face values at 100. That means I receive the bond and will give you the money with 10% interest for the second year. So the bond that this interest rate is, this 10% is explicitly stated, is called an explicit interest rate. However, if the interest rate is not separately stated, it's called an implicit interest rate. So a treasury bill is where the government issues the bond, the bill at a discount, the debt instrument at a discount, and redeem finally pays you a face value where you have agreed at the start, which you have agreed at from the start. So at maturity, even the government doesn't have any money to pay off its debt. That means the government can print money. Even he can use that option to pay you back. That's why these instruments are the safest, because being a short-term instrument by itself makes them less risky, and hence the issuer is the government itself. That means the risk low. So the other money market instruments are certificates of deposit. These instruments are issued by depository financial institutions. Forget this word and think of bank, only a bank, because we will look this topic in detail. I hope it will be difficult for you to understand without knowing what a depository financial institution are. Financial institutions are classified as a depository and non-depository.